Have you ever wondered if the year you were born carries a hidden message about your soul's journey? In Buddhist wisdom, nothing in life is random, not even the numbers that mark the year of your birth. Every digit vibrates with its own energy, carrying lessons, challenges, and blessings that shape who you are meant to become. While most people know about zodiac signs or astrological charts, very few realize that the last digit of your birth year reveals a powerful truth about your spiritual path and destiny. Think of it this way. The last digit acts like a spiritual signature, a secret code that whispers insights about your purpose, your inner strengths, and even the challenges you were born to face. Buddhist teachings remind us that numbers are not just symbols. They are living energies connected to karma, cycles of rebirth, and the eternal search for enlightenment. By understanding the meaning behind your year's final number, you uncover guidance that can help you navigate relationships, career choices, and spiritual growth. What you are about to discover may shock you, but it will also awaken you. Let us explore the hidden meanings of these digits, one by one. 0. The circle of completion. In Buddhist wisdom, the number 0 is one of the most mysterious and profound symbols. If the last digit of your birth year is 0, you are someone whose life is deeply tied to the eternal cycle of endings and beginnings. 0 represents both emptiness and infinite possibility. It is the circle that has no start and no end, symbolizing the Buddhist concept of shunyata, the idea that everything is empty of inherent existence, yet full of potential. For those born in years ending with 0, your spiritual path is about embracing completion and renewal. You may often find yourself closing chapters that others are afraid to end, whether in relationships, careers, or ways of thinking. While others cling to what is familiar, you have the courage to step into the unknown, guided by a quiet inner wisdom that tells you life is always moving forward. Buddhism teaches that clinging leads to suffering and letting go opens the door to freedom. People with 0 as their spiritual signature often experience situations where they are forced to release attachments. This may feel painful at first, but it ultimately shapes you into someone who understands impermanence better than most. The very struggles you face become your teachers, showing you that endings are not failures. They are gateways to rebirth. Another gift of the 0 is its reminder of infinite potential. You may sometimes feel as though you are starting from nothing, but that very nothingness is your strength. Think of a blank canvas. To some it looks empty. To you it is an opportunity to create. People with this energy are innovators, visionaries, and spiritual seekers. You carry a silent strength that allows you to reinvent yourself many times in life. Others may admire how you seem to rise again after setbacks, almost as if you have been reborn. However, the challenge of 0 is learning to trust the process of emptiness. Many born under this number struggle with feelings of uncertainty or fear of the void. You may worry about whether you are enough or feel lost when structures around you fall apart. But Buddhist wisdom reminds you that the void is not a place of despair, it is the source of all creation. By meditating on the concept of emptiness, you learn that nothing is fixed, and therefore everything is possible. In relationships, those with 0 are often the quiet anchors for others. You bring closure, healing, and a sense of peace to those around you. Yet you must be careful not to lose yourself in always being the one who helps others move on. Remember that your journey too deserves attention. Spiritually, you are drawn to practices like meditation, mindfulness, and contemplation, where silence and stillness allow you to connect with the infinite. If your birth year ends with 0, your soul's calling is to embrace both endings and beginnings with grace. You are here to teach others that nothing truly dies. It simply transforms. Like the circle of the Dharma wheel, your life is about cycles, and every ending you face is simply preparing you for a more powerful new chapter. Trust in the wisdom of the void, for it is in emptiness that true freedom is found. 1. The path of beginnings. If the last digit of your birth year is 1, you are someone whose life energy resonates with the spirit of new beginnings. In Buddhist wisdom, the number 1 symbolizes the spark that ignites creation, the first step, the initial breath, the opening of a new path. It represents individuality, courage, and the determination to move forward when the future is uncertain. Those born under this number are natural initiators. You may often find yourself being the first among your peers to take bold steps, whether it is starting a new project, moving to a new place, or breaking free from traditions that no longer serve you. While others wait for approval, you are guided by an inner fire that whispers, "Begin." In Buddhism, this reflects the teaching of right effort, the discipline to start and sustain the path toward enlightenment. Your journey, however, is not always easy. The energy of one can sometimes feel heavy because it carries the burden of leadership. Being the first often means stepping into unknown territory without a guide. You may face loneliness at times, as not everyone understands your vision. Yet this is part of your karmic lesson, to trust yourself even when the path feels unlit. Just as the Buddha himself left behind comfort to seek truth, you too are called to rely on your inner wisdom. The number 1 also represents individuality and independence. You are not meant to simply follow, you are meant to carve out your own unique path. In relationships, this can make you strong-willed or even misunderstood, because your soul seeks authenticity above conformity. Others may feel your presence is bold and determined, but this energy also inspires them to find their own voice. Spiritually, you remind people that enlightenment is a personal journey, one that begins with the individual taking the first step toward awakening. However, the shadow side of one is ego and pride. Because you are naturally independent, you may struggle with asking for help or admitting vulnerability. Sometimes you may feel like you must carry everything on your shoulders, which can lead to exhaustion. Buddhist wisdom teaches the middle way, balance between independence and connection. You are encouraged to practice humility and compassion, remembering that beginnings are not meant to be walked alone. The Sangha, the community, can support you when the weight of leadership feels too heavy. The gift of one is its pioneering energy. You carry the courage to begin anew, no matter how many times life challenges you. Failures do not define you, because you see them as stepping stones towards something greater. Like planting a seed in barren soil, you trust that with patience and effort, growth will come. This makes you a natural role model for others, especially those who fear change. Spiritually, your path is about self-discovery and courage. You are meant to awaken others by living authentically, by showing that every journey begins with a single step. Your destiny is not about finishing where others have finished. It is about walking where no one else has dared. If your birth year ends in 1, your life is a sacred reminder of the power of beginnings. You are here to light the torch, to start the journey, and to inspire others to step into their own paths with bravery. Remember, the greatest wisdom comes not from waiting, but from beginning. 2. The balance of duality. If the last digit of your birth year is 2, your life is deeply tied to the wisdom of balance and harmony. In Buddhist teachings, duality exists everywhere: light and darkness, joy and suffering, life and death. The number 2 embodies this eternal dance between opposites, teaching us that both sides are necessary for wholeness. For those born under the vibration of 2, your path is about learning to hold balance, not by rejecting one side, but by integrating both. People with this number are naturally empathetic and sensitive. You are deeply connected to the emotions of others, often sensing what they feel before they even say a word. This gift can make you a healer, a mediator, or a compassionate listener. In Buddhist wisdom, this reflects the teaching of karuna, or compassion, which is considered an essential quality of the awakened heart. Your presence alone can bring peace to conflict, as you intuitively seek unity over division. However, the path of duality is not always easy. Those born with 2 often struggle with indecision. Because you see both sides so clearly, you may hesitate to act, fearing that choosing one path means betraying the other. This can lead to periods of doubt or even frustration. Yet Buddhism reminds us that clinging to extremes creates suffering. The middle way, taught by the Buddha, is about finding balance between extremes. Your sole lesson is to trust that harmony does not come from perfect decisions. It comes from inner peace with whichever path you choose. In relationships, the energy of 2 makes you deeply loyal and nurturing. You thrive in partnerships where balance and mutual respect exist. You seek unity, not dominance, and often play the role of the peacemaker. But your sensitivity can also make you vulnerable to being taken advantage of, as you may put others' needs above your own. The challenge here is learning to balance self-love with love for others. Remember, compassion must flow inward as much as outward. The spiritual gift of two is the ability to see unity within duality. While others get lost in polarities, good versus bad, success versus failure, you are able to perceive that these opposites are two sides of the same coin. This wisdom gives you a calm presence, even in times of chaos. People are naturally drawn to you because you help them feel seen, accepted, and understood. Yet, the shadow of two is dependency. Because you value connection, you may sometimes fear being alone. This can lead you to cling to relationships or situations that no longer serve your growth. Buddhist practice teaches that true harmony begins within. By cultivating mindfulness and self-awareness, you can learn to find balance inside yourself without relying solely on external circumstances. Spiritually, your path is about embodying harmony. You are here to remind the world that opposites are not enemies but teachers. Just as night gives meaning to day and sorrow deepens the value of joy, you show others that life's dualities are not contradictions, they are complements. If your birth year ends with 2, you carry the sacred role of balancing opposites. You are the bridge between extremes, the gentle reminder that peace is possible when compassion and wisdom walk hand in hand. Your soul lesson is to embrace both sides of life's dance, knowing that true harmony comes not from eliminating duality, but from accepting it fully. 3. The energy of growth. If the last digit of your birth year is 3, your life energy vibrates with creativity, expansion, and growth. In Buddhist wisdom, the number 3 carries a sacred significance, often associated with the 3 jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. These represent the ultimate refuge for those walking the path of awakening, and they symbolize a foundation upon which spiritual growth can flourish. For people born under the number 3, your path is about blossoming into your highest potential while inspiring growth in those around you. The energy of 3 makes you naturally expressive. You are gifted with creativity, whether through words, art, music, or ideas. While others may live quietly within the lines, you are someone who colors outside them, seeking to add beauty and meaning to the world. This creative energy is not limited to art. It shows up in the way you solve problems, the way you inspire others, and the way you see possibilities where others see limitations. Buddhism teaches that growth requires openness, curiosity, and the courage to explore beyond what is familiar. These qualities are your strengths. However, the path of growth is not without challenges. Those influenced by 3 often struggle with scattered energy. You may find yourself full of enthusiasm at the beginning of new projects, but lacking the discipline to follow through. Spiritually, this reflects the Buddhist teaching on mindfulness. Growth cannot come from constant distraction, but from focused awareness. By training your mind to be present, you can channel your creative energy into meaningful accomplishments, rather than letting it scatter in many directions. In relationships, your presence feels vibrant and uplifting. You bring joy, humor, and lightheartedness into people's lives. Many with this number have a natural charisma that draws others in. Yet your challenge is depth. Because you thrive on growth and new experiences, you may sometimes avoid the harder emotional lessons that come with patience and long-term commitment. Buddhism reminds you that true growth is not just about expansion outward, it is also about deepening inward. Spiritually, 3 carries the reminder of interconnectedness. The 3 jewels teach us that growth does not happen in isolation but within a larger whole. You may feel called to communities, spiritual groups, or collaborative projects where you can grow alongside others. Your gift is the ability to bring people together, to create harmony through shared vision, and to remind them that life is a journey of expansion. The shadow side of 3 is restlessness. Because your spirit seeks growth, you may constantly look for what's next without fully appreciating what is already here. This can lead to dissatisfaction, as you might overlook the beauty of the present moment in your search for something greater. Buddhist wisdom teaches that mindfulness is the key to balance. When you learn to savor each stage of growth without rushing, you align your creative energy with inner peace. If your birth year ends with 3, Your soul's purpose is to embody growth and expansion. You are here to remind the world that life is not meant to stay stagnant. It is meant to evolve, blossom, and transform. Through your creativity, curiosity, and openness, you inspire others to believe in their own potential. Your journey is about learning that true growth happens not only when you create outwardly, but when you also grow inwardly in wisdom and compassion. 4. The foundation of stability. If the last digit of your birth year is 4, your life energy is grounded in structure, discipline, and stability. In Buddhist wisdom, the number 4 carries sacred meaning through the 4 noble truths, the foundation of all Buddhist teachings. These truths remind us that life involves suffering, that suffering has a cause, that liberation is possible, and that the path to freedom lies in right practice. For those born under the vibration of 4, your journey is about building a strong foundation in both your outer and inner world, so that you can stand firmly no matter how life shifts around you. People with the energy of 4 are often seen as reliable, trustworthy, and steady. You are someone others turn to when chaos arises because you provide grounding. Where others waver, you stand firm. This reflects the Buddhist value of right mindfulness, which teaches us to anchor ourselves in awareness, rather than being swept away by passing emotions or illusions. Your presence itself often becomes a safe haven for others, as you radiate stability and calmness in a turbulent world. Yet, your strength can also be your challenge. The energy of 4 can sometimes lead to rigidity. Because you value structure, you may resist change or cling too tightly to rules and traditions. This attachment to order can limit your growth if not balanced with flexibility. Buddhist wisdom reminds us of impermanence. Even the most stable structures eventually shift. Your lesson is to build strong foundations while remaining open to transformation, just as a tree has deep roots but sways with the wind. In relationships, you bring loyalty and commitment. People with this number are dependable partners, friends, and family members. You value honesty and consistency, and you are not one to abandon others in times of struggle. However, you may sometimes expect the same level of dedication from others, and when they fail to match it, you may feel disappointed or even betrayed. The teaching here is to practice equanimity, understanding that each person has their own path and capacity, and not everyone will walk with the same stability you do. Spiritually, the number 4 guides you toward building a strong inner foundation. The 4 noble truths are your compass, reminding you that suffering can be transformed when you live with awareness. Your calling is to ground your life in practices that cultivate mindfulness, compassion, and discipline. Meditation, daily rituals, or even simple routines can become sacred tools for your growth. Another important aspect of the 4 is its connection to responsibility. People with this vibration often carry a sense of duty, whether toward family, community, or humanity as a whole. You may feel called to serve others, to protect, or to lead with integrity. While this is a noble quality, your challenge is not to overburden yourself. In Buddhism, balance is key. You are reminded that your stability must come first before you can truly be a foundation for others. The shadow side of 4 is fear of change. Because you prefer security, unexpected shifts may feel threatening. But remember, in impermanence lies freedom. By embracing change as part of life's rhythm, you transform rigidity into resilience. If your birth year ends with 4, your soul's mission is to embody the wisdom of foundation and stability. You are here to remind the world that strength does not come from resisting change, but from rooting deeply while flowing with life's currents. You are the builder, the protector, and the steady flame in a world of uncertainty. 5. The journey of change. If the last digit of your birth year is 5, your life path is defined by movement, transformation, and adaptability. In Buddhist wisdom, change is not something to fear. It is the very essence of existence. The Buddha taught the principle of anicca, or impermanence, which reminds us that everything in life is constantly shifting. For those born with the energy of 5, this teaching resonates deeply because your destiny is intertwined with change itself. People with this number are often adventurous, curious, and eager to explore beyond limitations. You may feel restless when life becomes too routine, as your spirit craves freedom and variety. This makes you adaptable in ways others may admire. You can adjust quickly to new circumstances, find opportunities where others see obstacles, and thrive in unfamiliar situations. Spiritually, you embody the truth that life is a journey, not a destination. However, the path of change is not without challenges. While your gift is adaptability, your struggle is consistency. Because you are always seeking the next adventure or new experience, you may find it difficult to stay rooted. Projects may begin with excitement but fizzle out before completion. Relationships may feel intense at first but lose their spark when routine sets in. This is your karmic lesson. To learn that change does not always mean leaving, it can also mean growing deeper within the same soil. In relationships, you bring excitement, joy, and spontaneity. People are drawn to your vibrant energy and your willingness to try new things. However, stability may sometimes feel confining to you. The key is balance. Buddhist wisdom teaches the middle way, which is about moderation. For you, this means learning to balance your need for freedom with the responsibilities of commitment. When you honor both, your relationships become a source of adventure and growth rather than a cage. The spiritual gift of 5 is transformation. You are here to remind others that life is not meant to remain static. Just as seasons change and rivers flow, you show that renewal is always possible. This makes you a natural guide during times of transition, whether for yourself or others. People often look to you for encouragement when they are afraid of letting go, because your energy naturally says, change is nothing to fear, it is the doorway to freedom. The shadow side of 5 is restlessness and impatience. Because you thrive on movement, you may struggle to stay present in the moment. You may find yourself chasing what is new while overlooking the beauty of what is here. Buddhism teaches that mindfulness is the cure for this. By grounding yourself in awareness, you can experience the richness of change without becoming lost in constant seeking. Your destiny is to embrace change as a teacher rather than an enemy. Each transformation you experience is shaping you into a wiser, freer soul. While others cling to what is safe, you are meant to step boldly into the unknown, showing the world that growth happens when we release fear. If your birth year ends with 5, your soul's mission is the journey of change. You are here to live fully, to explore deeply, and to remind others that impermanence is not a curse but a blessing. Your path is not about resisting change. It is about dancing with it, trusting that every shift brings you closer to awakening. 6. The wisdom of harmony. If the last digit of your birth year is 6, your life is deeply connected to compassion, care, and the creation of harmony. In Buddhist wisdom, the number 6 is linked to the 6 paramitas, or perfections, which are generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, meditation, and wisdom. These qualities are considered essential for anyone who seeks enlightenment. For those born with this number, your soul's path is about cultivating these virtues and bringing balance and healing wherever you go. People influenced by 6 often have a natural gift for nurturing others. You may be the person friends and family turn to in times of need, because your presence feels safe and supportive. Compassion flows naturally from you, and you often find meaning in helping others. This reflects the Buddhist teaching of karuna, or great compassion, which is at the heart of the Bodhisattva path. Your spirit longs to ease the suffering of those around you, whether through words, actions, or simply your calming presence. However, the path of harmony also comes with challenges. Because you are naturally caring, you may struggle with boundaries. At times, you may give so much of yourself that you feel drained or unappreciated. Your karmic lesson is to learn that true compassion includes self-compassion. Without caring for yourself, you cannot fully sustain the care you give to others. Buddhism reminds us that balance is key. Love must flow inward as well as outward. In relationships, those with the energy of 6 are deeply loyal and loving. You seek deep emotional connections and often value long-term commitments over fleeting encounters. You are the kind of partner or friend who is willing to put in the work to maintain harmony, even when challenges arise. Yet, your challenge is not to lose yourself in trying to please others. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to give from a place of fullness rather than depletion. Spiritually, 6 is a reminder of wholeness and healing. The 6 paramitas guide your path, showing you that harmony is not simply about avoiding conflict, it is about cultivating virtues that elevate the soul. Your spiritual calling may draw you toward healing practices, teaching, counseling, or any path where your wisdom and compassion can uplift others. The shadow side of 6 is self-sacrifice without balance. You may sometimes feel responsible for fixing everyone else's problems, carrying burdens that are not yours to bear. This can lead to exhaustion or even resentment. Buddhist wisdom teaches that each person has their own karma and their own path. While you can support others, you must also allow them the space to grow through their own lessons. The gift of 6 is your ability to bring harmony where there is conflict. You naturally see both sides of situations and find ways to create peace. This makes you a bridge builder, someone who unites rather than divides. In a world full of noise and division, your presence is like a calming river that restores balance. If your birth year ends with 6, your soul's mission is to embody harmony and compassion. You are here to heal, to nurture, and to remind the world that kindness is not weakness but strength. Your journey is about learning to balance your giving nature with self-care so that you can shine as the compassionate light you were meant to be. 7. The power of spirituality. If the last digit of your birth year is 7, your life is intimately connected with intuition, reflection, and spiritual insight. In Buddhist wisdom, 7 is often associated with deep contemplation and the pursuit of inner knowledge. It reflects the journey of the mind turning inward, seeking understanding beyond the material world. For those born with this number, your soul's path is about awakening to higher truths, exploring the unseen dimensions of life, and trusting your inner guidance. People influenced by 7 often feel a natural pull towards spiritual practice. You may be drawn to meditation, prayer, or philosophical study, searching for answers to life's most profound questions. Unlike others who may focus on external achievements, your fulfillment comes from inner discovery. This reflects the Buddhist teaching of vipassana, insight, meditation, which encourages observation of the mind and the impermanent nature of reality. Your journey is to see beyond illusions, uncovering truths that can transform your life and the lives of others. However, the spiritual path of 7 comes with its challenges. Because you are deeply reflective, you may struggle with isolation or feeling disconnected from the practical world. You might spend long hours contemplating life's mysteries, which can sometimes lead to a sense of loneliness or being misunderstood. Your karmic lesson is to integrate spirituality with everyday living, bringing wisdom into action, not retreating entirely into thought. Balance between contemplation and participation in life is essential. In relationships, those with the energy of 7 are often selective. You seek connections that are meaningful, where intellect, depth, and spiritual alignment exist. Superficial interactions may feel draining or unfulfilling. However, your challenge is not to become detached from human experience entirely. Buddhism teaches compassionate engagement, where one combines deep understanding with love and kindness toward others. Your gift is to guide and inspire, showing people the deeper layers of existence without imposing detachment or aloofness. Spiritually, 7 carries the power of inner awakening. You are naturally attuned to subtle energies and can sense patterns or truths that others may overlook. This makes you a seeker, a philosopher, or a teacher who walks a path that many fear to explore. The number 7 often marks someone whose wisdom grows with solitude, introspection, and mindful observation. You are capable of profound insights that not only elevate your own consciousness, but also serve as guidance for those around you. The shadow side of 7 is over-introspection. Spending too much time analyzing life or your spiritual journey can sometimes lead to overthinking, anxiety, or even stagnation. Buddhism teaches the middle way. Spiritual practice is not about withdrawal from life, but about engagement with clarity and compassion. Grounding yourself through service, daily routines, or community connection ensures that your wisdom becomes practical and transformative. If your birth year ends with 7, your soul's mission is to harness the power of spirituality. You are here to explore the unseen, understand the impermanent nature of reality, and guide others with insight. Your path is not about escaping life, but illuminating it, balancing inner awakening with active participation. By trusting your intuition and embracing your spiritual gifts, you can lead a life that is both enlightened and deeply meaningful. 8. The cycle of karma. If the last digit of your birth year is 8, your life is closely tied to the energies of responsibility, cause and effect, and abundance. In Buddhist wisdom, 8 symbolizes the Noble Eightfold Path, the practical guide to ending suffering and achieving enlightenment. For those born under this number, your spiritual journey revolves around understanding karma, the law of cause and effect, and using it wisely to create a life of purpose, balance, and fulfillment. People with the energy of 8 are naturally disciplined and ambitious. You have a strong sense of responsibility, not just for yourself, but often for others as well. You are drawn to achieving goals and creating structures that provide security, stability, and long-term growth. This aligns with Buddhist teachings on right action and right livelihood, which emphasize living ethically and purposefully. Your life often challenges you to act with integrity, as the consequences of your choices tend to be magnified. However, the path of 8 comes with significant challenges. Because you are deeply aware of karma, you may carry guilt or worry about past mistakes, feeling the weight of responsibility more intensely than others. Life may test you through repeated lessons, forcing you to learn patience, humility, and discernment. Your karmic lesson is to act with intention, understanding that each decision contributes to your spiritual growth. Buddhism teaches that suffering can be transformed through awareness and skillful action, and this is central to your journey. In relationships, the energy of 8 makes you loyal, protective, and committed. You value trust, integrity, and honesty, expecting the same from others. Your ability to provide stability and support can make you a rock for friends and partners alike. However, your challenge is to avoid control or rigidity. Because you are so attuned to responsibility and consequences, you may unconsciously attempt to shape the lives of those around you. The wisdom lies in balancing guidance with freedom, understanding that each person's karma unfolds naturally. Spiritually, 8 represents balance and mastery. The Eightfold Path teaches that living mindfully, ethically, and with wisdom leads to liberation from suffering. You are uniquely equipped to understand these principles on both a practical and spiritual level. Your life lessons often center on creating harmony between ambition and ethics, success and compassion, action and reflection. By integrating these aspects, you become a model of how karma operates, not as punishment, but as guidance and learning. The shadow side of 8 is attachment to material or worldly success. While ambition is a gift, obsession with outcomes or accumulation can lead to imbalance. Buddhism reminds you that true abundance is not measured by wealth alone, but by ethical action, spiritual growth, and generosity. Your path is to cultivate both material stability and inner richness, ensuring that your power and influence are used wisely. If your birth year ends with 8, your soul's mission is to master the cycle of karma. You are here to act consciously, live ethically, and understand the consequences of every choice. By walking the path of responsibility with wisdom and compassion, you can create a life that is abundant, meaningful, and aligned with your highest purpose. Your journey is not just about personal success, but about using your understanding of karma to positively impact the world. 9. The door of transformation. If the last digit of your birth year is 9, your life is deeply connected to endings, transformation, and spiritual completion. In Buddhist wisdom, 9 symbolizes the culmination of a cycle, the energy of wisdom, and the preparation for a new beginning. It carries the vibration of the Ninefold Path, not formally in Buddhism, but symbolically representing growth, insight, and readiness for transcendence. For those born under this number, your journey is about embracing change, releasing what no longer serves you, and stepping into higher levels of consciousness. People influenced by 9 are naturally visionary and deeply intuitive. You often perceive patterns and possibilities that others cannot see, and you may feel drawn to philosophies, spiritual practices, or humanitarian work. Your energy encourages selflessness, teaching you that true fulfillment comes from contributing to the greater good. Buddhism emphasizes detachment from ego as a path to liberation, and 9 carries this energy strongly. You are called to release attachments and embrace transformation as part of your soul's evolution. However, the path of 9 can feel intense. Because you are attuned to endings and transformation, you may experience frequent life changes, loss, or challenges that push you to evolve. These experiences are not meant to break you, but to awaken you. Your karmic lesson is to recognize that every ending is a doorway, every difficulty is a teacher, and every transformation is a step closer to spiritual maturity. Learning to flow with life's cycles rather than resisting them is key. In relationships, the energy of 9 can manifest as a deep capacity for love, compassion, and empathy. You are willing to forgive and understand even in difficult circumstances. Yet, your challenge is to avoid being drained by others' struggles or taking on burdens that are not yours to carry. Buddhist wisdom reminds you to practice equanimity, care for others, but maintain your inner balance and clarity. This allows you to give fully without losing yourself. Spiritually, 9 is about completion and transcendence. It is the number that marks the end of one cycle and the preparation for the next. Your life invites you to release attachments, transcend old patterns, and step into wisdom. Meditation, mindfulness, and reflective practices are particularly beneficial for you, helping to connect your intuition with conscious action. You have the power to inspire transformation not only in yourself, but in those around you, guiding others through endings and beginnings with grace. The shadow side of 9 is resistance to letting go. Despite your natural alignment with endings, you may sometimes cling to past pain, relationships, or outdated beliefs. Buddhism teaches that liberation comes when we fully accept impermanence. By embracing change and trusting in life's cycles, you transform challenges into opportunities for growth and spiritual awakening. If your birth year ends with 9, your soul's mission is to walk the door of transformation. You are here to release, evolve, and help others navigate the cycles of life. Your journey is about understanding that endings are not losses. They are gateways to renewal, insight, and enlightenment. Through embracing this energy, you become a living example of courage, wisdom, and spiritual maturity, ready to step fully into your highest purpose. The last digit of your birth year is far more than a number. It is a subtle key to understanding your soul's journey. Through the lens of Buddhist wisdom, each digit carries unique energy, lessons, and guidance that can illuminate your path in life. From the emptiness and infinite potential of 0, to the courage of beginnings in 1, the balance of duality in 2, the growth of 3, and the stability of 4. From the transformative journey of 5, to the harmony and compassion of 6, the spiritual insight of 7, the karmic responsibility of 8, and the transformative power of 9. Every number has its purpose, teaching us how to navigate life's challenges and awaken to our highest self. By reflecting on the meaning of your birth year's last digit, you gain insight into your strengths, your lessons, and your potential. Buddhist teachings remind us that understanding ourselves is the first step toward living a mindful, purposeful, and fulfilling life. Each of these numbers encourages you to embrace your path, accept your challenges, and cultivate your gifts. Your birth year is not just a mark of time, it is a map guiding you toward wisdom, compassion, and spiritual growth. Awaken to the message of your number, honor your journey, and let it inspire transformation in every area of your life.